love that. I didn't think I was gonna like that as much as I did, but I enjoyed it. Top 10 people
With
getting owned. Oh, and it starts with a Cloud9 video.
With the mic.
Getting closer and closer. Let's talk about the matching. Well, okay, so this is for, you have sore forearms, I'm assuming from gaming too much?
We could talk in the daytime.
Yeah.
You're quite scintillating.
Scintillating.
Yeah.
Nice. Define that.
What's that?
Define it.
Define what?
Scintillating.
You define it.
You define it. You said it.
English is not really my strongest subject.
Of course. Well, I'm glad you said it.
Okay, well, which one of the other players
Did he just not really know what it meant? He just said it?
on the other team would you say are your biggest competition
None.
in this game?
Say it.
No one, bitch.
Nah. Oh, he didn't have to add in the bitch. Oh my gosh.
Well, you have
Overboard.
lost 3 matches in a row, so that kind of makes you the...
Okay, I'm sorry. If you just lost 3 in a row, you really don't get to be talking like that. You deserved it. Is that a Taco Bell cup?
Excuse me.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
A little bit nicer about it and
A little
just
bit
go
nicer.
by?
You make this big
Since you
sigh. I'm
have
just
to
trying to get by.
While I'm sitting here and you could enter the other way.
Could you just move
please?
your legs?
What are you doing? Are you looking at my breast? You're looking at my breast.
I'm not
You
looking
are
at your breast.
my-
I'm trying to
you
get
are
to my
looking at
seat.
He's looking at my breast.
Yeah, you and
are
your
looking
special
at my
breast. Just excuse me,
Please
please.
just go by
Yeah.
without stepping on my foot.
Right, you wear that dress because you want people to look at your shoes, right? Is that it?
She bought Compaq. It was a terrible deal, and it really led to the destruction of the company. Now, one other company before that was Lucent. Carly was at Lucent before that, and Lucent turned out to be a catastrophe also. So I only say this, she can't run any of my companies.
Mr. Trump, I find it quite rich that you would talk about this. You know, there are a lot of us Americans who believe that we are going to have trouble someday paying back the interest on our debt because politicians have run up mountains of debt using
Caught
other
his
people's
attention.
money. That is, in fact, precisely the way you ran your casinos. You ran up mountains of debt as well as losses using other people's money, and you were forced to file for bankruptcy not once,
I never filed
not
for
twice,
bankruptcy.
4 times.
I knew she was going to mention the bankruptcy.
So we're right on time. Ginger Bimbo, because I don't know a famous person. Maybe you guys should get out.
I'm pretty sure this girl's streaming on the same gaming website that I'm currently streaming on. That's crazy.
These famous people's lives.
Love
and,
it.
like,
You're really not that interesting.
What was she doing to you that bothered you so much you had to say that?
Pigeons and dogs for food right now. They're out of any food because socialist governments can't plan well.
Why is that because of the socialist government?
Because the government owns almost all of the farms, all of the grocery
No,
stores.
the food manufacturers are private. I was there in December.
Yeah, you're actually
They're owned
not
by
right.
private companies.
Yeah, you're actually wrong. I'm sorry that you were
I was there in December
indoctrinated.
reporting on what happened.
You should read a book called Western Intellectuals in Search of the Good World.
No, I'm just asking you though. The food companies are private. The oil is run by the state, but the food companies are private.
No, most of them are state-run.
Really? So you're telling me that the food distributors in Venezuela are state-run?
The farms,
The farms are state-run?
of the food distribution are state-run. You should
State-run.
seriously look up a guy named Paul Hollander. You like his book. It's about liberals who go to communist countries and get fooled by their Potemkin villages. It's about people like you.
People like me? What am I?
You're ignorant. You don't understand
I'm ignorant?
what's wrong with socialism.
So you've been to Venezuela?
No, but I read stories about them. I understand what's going on.
And you think all the government runs all the food companies?
They have government propaganda, and there's pictures coming about all the starvation. So unless
Well, yeah, there is a lack of food.
This is
There's
getting
definitely
real
a food
political.
crisis.
There we go.
You're saying it's
Socialism.
caused by the government
By
when
socialism,
the
yeah.
food companies are private.
there are very few amount.
Are there sanctions on Venezuela?
I don't know.
You don't know if there's sanctions on Venezuela? You're an expert.
who?
You know more than I do. You're supposed to know more than I do. You don't even know if there's sanctions on Venezuela? There's economic sanctions.
Okay.
So that's not a factor, right? It's all the government, even though the food companies are all private.
They're not all
Darkbone, thank you
private,
for the
you're wrong.
They
prime.
are all
Ay, ay,
private.
ay.
They haven't nationalized food over there. They haven't nationalized it.
Uh-oh.
I'm buying $100,000 worth
Uh-oh.
of iPhones.
$100,000?
Correct. I'm going to sell them all on eBay.
I've been here since 6 o'clock this morning.
So how much would it cost to buy your position in the front of the line?
This woman rolled up with 16 grand in cash.
She's gonna get robbed.
And bought Mark's #1 spot in line for $800.
She gave me $800.
That's not even worth it.
A worthwhile investment, she thought, because
somewhere on eBay, so it's all right.
Yet when the doors
there's a
opened,
purchase limit.
Yup, she was first. But maybe instead of stopping at the bank, she should have stopped to read the rules. Her plan to buy out the store?
Can you buy more than one phone?
Unfortunately, we can only sell one per customer.
AT&T imposed a 1 phone per customer rule to make sure that there were enough to go.
Imagine being this naive about reselling. If you have any retail job ever in the world, or even just attempt to buy multiple things at the store, you're very aware of all the restrictions in place to stop reselling like this.
Go around.
That's a serious package, folks. That is a serious
And you just got it for
package.
free because this lady gave you $800.
Stocking up a phone with all the trimmings.
Wait.
She was too happy with you. I don't think she was, and on top of that, she didn't get a free phone. I just think she got the short end of the stick there, America. #1, baby. #1.
We met up with
But
State
what did
Senate Education Chairman John Hoopenthal to hear his opinion on the issue.
Wouldn't he have to go to
Very
the back though and not get one?
And it's something that we simply don't want to do, those of us that care about education. These budget cuts are just simply horrendous.
So you think that the CTE program, all these funded classes are very important, right?
Oh, yes.
But in May of 2009, you voted yes on a bill that would cut $550 million from the Department of Education, and a lot of that was actually CTE, the money that would have been going to CTE. What factors led to this decision?
Well, tell me a little bit more about that vote. What committee did it take place in?
I actually have that right here. Well, it says right here that this bill actually passed. So, and then through further research, we actually saw that it did pass again in the House of Representatives, which ended up
What a
cutting
political
$550
response.
million.
Well, see, you did it again.
You know, I don't know the specific vote that you're talking about there. So.
Okay, well, let's move on then. Do you believe that the CTE program will survive off of the $57,000?
Let's go ahead and fast forward the
that is
political
allocated?
parts because we're not a political stream.
I mean, we're going to keep these programs alive.
And because right now there's $11 million that goes statewide all throughout all the CTE programs, and even then, like a lot, you were saying that a lot of classrooms aren't able to get those large format printers and things of that nature.
Hold on for a second.
Okay, sure thing.
Oh, he's finding a way to abandon the interview.
Good evening. My name is
Another
Jumana
political-
Imad Musa Ahmed Al-Bahri.
Okay, I'm sorry. These are literally all political. I'm over it.
The world's largest cruise ship. And all those people need to eat 3, 4, 8 times a day.
True. On a cruise? On a cruise, you eat at least 10 times a day. Let's be honest.
food all around. And that
The cruise has like endless supply of food. It's crazy.
never stop.
And it's
Ship
delicious
kitchens run
food.
24/7, manned by a culinary
And the
team
crazy
of
part
more
is,
than
like, I
1,000
feel like
people.
you don't even
They
overeat
dish
on the
out over
cruise ship because you just
30,000
get really
meals
satisfied
every
and then you're
single
full and then
day.
you go and
They
you
do
play
it all from
basketball or
compact
walk
kitchens
around
on
or
a rocking
something.
ship.
So at least that was
So how
my
does all this
experience
food
with it.
make it to the plate?
I lost weight on a cruise, not gained it.
We'll start on the loading dock on a Saturday. This is turnaround day, when all new food is delivered to Deck 2.
This is basically a place that you would not like to be on turnaround day when we are loading. It's
Why?
Busy, super busy.
That's Jarrett. He orders food for the ship's 23 different restaurants. Every week, Jarrett's got a
Dude, a
$1 million
cruise is
shopping
amazing.
budget. All of
It's
that
actually
is
the
just for
greatest
7 days of
vacation I've
food.
ever been on. I
Sometimes
loved it.
Jarrett will tweak his orders based on who's coming aboard. More kids means more chicken fingers.
Yes.
That's how the operation runs. So we
I
monitor it on a
want
daily
one.
basis, what has been used, what has not been used, and then we adjust our orders accordingly. But by and large, being in Miami, having the same number of people, it's almost the same. every
Where'd I
cruise.
go?
On turnaround day, 30 trucks arrive at Miami
I think
Port.
I went to
They're carrying
Cozumel.
500 pallets worth of inventory. And all that has to be loaded onto the ship by 4
Can't
p.m.
remember.
Any delay in our operation can hamper the sail away of the ship, which is again a big logistic requirement.
Over 600,000 pounds of food and drinks are provisioned for just 1 week of sailing.
It's like the whole journey is more the destination than the actual
Once on board,
destination,
everything is
you know?
moved along the ship's secret highway.
Exactly.
This is I-95, and it runs the entire length of the ship. On
Interstate
deck
95?
We separate all the stores to the different locations that they are supposed to go. We have about 20 different storerooms divided into freezers, fridges, walk-in fridges, and rice stores.
Seafood, meat, vegetables, and fruit are all divided and stored in separate fridges.
If you come towards the
Thank
end of the
goodness.
cruise, this box will be almost empty with a few fruits that
Kiwi
are needed for
kids.
2 more days, which we keep as backup stock.
Driscoll's.
There are also 6 freezers. That's where the 700 pounds of ice cream that'll be eaten each week are stored. Once inventory is stored,
I love
restaurants on
that.
upper decks put in food orders with Jarrett. Chefs will come downstairs, pick up their order, and cart it away to be cooked. That's where this guy comes in.
Who's this guy?
Food on board this beautiful ship, anything you eat it, is my responsibility. Wherever you have beautiful potato fry,
Wow.
is mine.
Oh my
Rice
God.
is mine. Pate is mine.
Oh
Pastry
my
is mine.
God.
Salad, shrimp. Wherever you eat it, is my responsibility.
Riho's team of 280 chefs run the
You're
kitchens
hired.
24/7. Each chef works 10 to 12-hour days.
What are those,
Contracts
ribs?
typically last 4 months without a single day off.
Some of the people start working for 8 o'clock in the morning, all the way to 2 o'clock, take a break, come back again 5 o'clock, finish by 9:30. Then other group start working 10 o'clock in the
That's
night, all the way
crazy.
to 10 o'clock in the morning.
12
so we cover
hours.
day and night productions.
Chefs on board cook up nearly 100 different menus every week. All the menus are developed at Royal Caribbean's Miami headquarters. And every week,
Miami.
chefs stick to the same rotation of menus, cooking up everything from racks of lamb to hand-rolled sushi. The
I
food has
love
to be
that.
diverse to match Symphony of the Sea's international passengers,
love it.
vacationing at all kinds of price points.
We try to please everybody and to make sure that everybody find what you're looking for.
All the cooking happens
they
in
do.
36 kitchens, or galleys as they're called on a ship. There are 12 specialty restaurants on board, costing up to $50 a person.
Hibachi and
each of those
sushi.
restaurants has its own small galley. In those tight quarters, chefs crank out the same menu every day. At Jamie's Italian, it's fresh pasta.
Oh!
At Hooked, it's over 2,000 oysters, shucked per cruise.
no.
But the largest amount of food is reserved for the main dining room, which
Yes.
spans 3 decks and serves up to 6,000 people a night. Eating here is included in your ticket. Before food heads up to the main galleys,
That's so
it starts in
nice.
one of the prep kitchens, off I-95. There's a butcher shop,
Butcher, good morning.
Yeah, I don't like oysters.
These are the gentlemen
This is a
looking after
Royal
all the meat
Caribbean.
cuts.
the butcher goes through about 15,000 pounds of beef and 9,700 pounds of chicken each week. There's also a veggie cutting room and a fish thawing box. Lobster is the most popular dish in main dining. The ship goes through about 2,100 pounds of lobster tails every week.
I didn't eat lobster on my cruise, but when I'm almost certain we cruised to Cozumel, but when we got to Cozumel, we ate at this place like right on the beach, and they grilled up the lobsters like right there, and it was the greatest lobster I've ever had. But in a sense, it kind of ruined lobster for me because I keep expecting it to be like that, and it never is. But it
Finally, the
was
food heads upstairs to the main
divine.
galley. The ship's
Divine.
biggest kitchen is broken down by categories: desserts, bread, cold food, and hot
Ooh,
food.
desserts.
In dessert, chefs whip up cakes,
Count me
chocolates, and
in.
100 different types of pastries. Over in the bread bakery, they make 40 different kinds of bread from all over the world, all from scratch. But the real hustle comes just before the dinner rush. 6,000 hungry passengers in the main dining room. Remember Riho? Before dinner
Yes.
prep starts, he has to approve all the dishes.
Good afternoon.
Riho tries each dish and gives his critiques.
We're gonna put a little bit more Pernod, a little bit more garlic, a little bit more herb.
Ooh, garlic. Yes.
Very, very good. So this is what
Nice.
Aioli, we need to put a little bit more.
I love moments like this, like when the teacher goes around and compares, like, and say what everyone did wrong, because it's like that's when you want to try to make it perfect, so yours doesn't have any critique, you know.
We don't have any challenge, so we
Yes,
already go.
I won.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much, and look forward to have a beautiful night tonight. Thank you. Have a beautiful day. Bye bye.
Chefs take his notes and get cooking. Chefs can see a tally of each dish ordered up on screens.
Creme brulee.
The system also keeps track of how much inventory is used. In the cold room, salads and appetizers like
What
carpaccio
is
come
that?
together. In the hot room, Chefs dish out soups, sauces, sides,
That's
and
no
mains.
salad I've ever seen before. It must be an appetizer.
Chefs working here on the line, which is close to me, plating up, and chefs on the stove cooking. So everything we do is in batch cooking. So basically,
I need a water.
I'll
be back before this is over.
The person on the bus is plating it up to the requested temperature. That means always that the guests are getting fresh food, and from an operational point, we don't have any overproduction.
Finally, waiters deliver those dishes to hungry passengers out in main dining. Between the chefs, inventory crew, waiters, and dishwashers, it takes a team of 1,085 people to keep this massive operation going. Together, they cook nearly 11 million meals each year, and they're doing it all on a moving ship.
The ship is rocking, then all the equipment is built to the ship rocking. Then in whatever moment, maybe the ship move, somebody don't put one brake in one trolley, and you see the trolley flying away. And happen. That's why all the cooks always be the attention with that.
But if crew members are doing their job right, passengers won't even know any of it's happening. They'll just get back to eating their 8th meal of the day.